Alright, welcome ladies and gents. Probably one of the biggest bombs in gaming history. PlayStation is going to be shutting down the new game, Concord, 2 weeks after launch, and will refund players. I tell you what, just as an FYI, the fact that they're prepared to refund players is incredibly good of them. Look, they might have made a complete bag of shit, but refunding the players, that buys goodwill. Because it goes to show, hey, look, we know we screwed up. We know we did. So yeah, refunding the players gives great goodwill, I think. Genuinely. Again, it's terrible. Awful. Shitty game. But refunding? That's not bad. Anyway, shall we take a look? Hit subscribe if you're new here. This is probably one of the biggest sort of about turns, bombs, whatever you want to call it, in gaming history, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think that is the case. So PlayStation is going to be shutting down new game Concord 2 weeks after launch and will refund the players. PlayStation will be taking its new Firewalk developed live services game Concord offline this Friday and issuing refunds to players just 2 weeks after its August 23rd launch. I will say, I think the people that will suffer the most from this is the developers that made it. Firewalk. Which isn't good. You know, I mean, well, it's dependent on how it was shopped around and how it was developed, whether they sort of created it and shopped it to Sony and then Sony picked it up, whatever, PlayStation, Sony, or PlayStation, Sony asked them to develop it. If it's that way, then it's shit that they will suffer, because obviously the onus is on Sony and PlayStation at that point. But anyway, there's a bit more here. And it says the team-based first-person shooter game is reported to have drawn a historically small audience during its initial availability across PlayStation 5 and PC, with third-party PC-based gaming data website SteamDB showing 30 current in-game players at the time of this publication. I mean, that's bad. Now, interestingly, at the peak of its current short history, Concord had 697 concurrent players. Jesus. I mean, that's just so bad. That's so bad. Drastically low for a PlayStation new release and ranked toward the bottom of PlayStation's weekly sales chart. Yeah, obviously. It says this in Concord, which has largely been compared to popular multiplayer shooter Overwatch. Players assemble a crew of free-gunner space outlaws from the spacecraft North Star for online games between two teams of 5 members each. With so few people playing, Concord matchup availability became very difficult to come by during gameplay. So basically, like, it just rendered the game obsolete. Like, the entire game was just superfluous. It was just pointless. That was literally just redundant, completely redundant. And here's the statement. I mean, again, kudos to them. Concord fans, we've been listening closely to your feedback since the launch of Concord on PlayStation 5 and PC. I want to thank everyone who has joined the journey aboard the North Star. This is from Firewalk Studios Games director Ryan Ellis. Your support and the passionate community that has grown around the game has meant the world to us. However, while many qualities of the experience resonated with players, we also recognise that other aspects of the game and our initial launch didn't land the way we'd intended. Therefore, at this time, we have decided to take the game offline, beginning September 6, 2024, and explore options, including those that will better reach our players while we determine the best path ahead. Concord sales will cease immediately, and we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased the game for PS5 or PC. I mean, that's brutal, isn't it? Per PlayStation, customers who purchase Concord from the PlayStation Store or PlayStation Direct will receive a refund to their original payment method, while Steam, Epic Games Store, and physical copies will be refunded through those respective digital storefronts and retailers. Once refunded, players will lose access to the game. Wow. have a look now. There is 79 players right now. Jesus. I mean, that is real bad, isn't it? Holy moly. What? This app has been retired? Oh, wow. So they've actually done it already. What? Did I just misread that then? Has it actually happened right now already? Oh, September 6th. Oh, okay. So, Oh, interestingly. So basically you can't buy it anymore right now, right? No, that makes sense. Sorry. My bad. God, that's bad, isn't it? God, that is so bad. And I mean, you just 68.78, 68% of the 756 user base are positive. So I mean, people didn't really like it either. Like, they didn't like the game in and unto itself. So even though the small number, God, that's bad, isn't it? That is bad. The numbers, so we don't actually know how much this game cost. Some people are saying $100 million. Some people are saying $200 million. But make no mistake, this will be, well, just a huge failure for Sony. It'll be really interesting to see what Sony comes up with in their earnings report. Whether it comes under Sony or Firewalk. I think it's Firewalk, isn't it? Yeah, Firewalk Studios. God. I mean, that's something to destroy a publisher completely. Like, genuinely, that's something to absolutely just take them offline entirely. What have they actually made? Firewalk. Because I've never really heard of them before. Firewalk Studios games. Let's have a look. Oh. Literally just that. Wow. This was their first game. And their only game. And probably never any more games. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Goodness me. What do you say to that, ladies and gents? What do you say to that? Their first and only game, and it gets taken offline in 2 weeks after their launch. Brutal. But again, if this was Sony's idea, you're to blame, not Firewalk. But let me know what you think down below. Love to hear your thoughts. Just move away from these online games. They suck. Live service games, they suck. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Make some great single player games. Do it. Anyway, love to hear your thoughts. Drop it down below. Cheers. Take care. Bye-bye now.